Welcome to the final episode of this series. We are here at the theater because we are showcasing 50 lessons I've learned in 50 episodes of Minecraft. So we're going to be taking our seat, and after this long segment, we're going to have a world tour. So without further ado, grab your popcorn, grab your water or drink, and let's dive into it. Welcome to this brand new YouTube channel called Create. Just to get something out of the way, my name is Quill and I'll be your host. Welcome back. Hello and welcome to another episode. Welcome back to our little home. First lesson that I have learned is that I've made plenty of mistakes in my first few episodes, but each one has helped me refine my approach. Main lesson learned here is that there's always going to be something new in terms of learning Minecraft, and having a somewhat fresh perspective over the game, I was not really expecting much, to be fair. Then I got used to the keybinds and everything has gotten a bit easier. So I think that would be the first lesson. Learn the keybinds and some shortcuts of the game. They will help you along the way. Unexpected failures and dying in weird situations have taught me how to adapt. I'm by no means an expert survivalist in Minecraft, and losing my items over and over again has always been a lesson to keep going, to find them and to craft them again, to start from scratch, to riches to rags, and back up the wealth ladder again. There were times when I almost gave up on the series actually. That's because I was dying many times, but I kept going with it. Looking back, I wish I had known certain building techniques a bit better, because I'm no builder, but I've managed some projects that I did not expect, and I surprised myself in the process. And these big examples are the hospital, the skyscraper, and the mansion, the ruined tower at the outskirts of the town. That has been challenging project in terms of variety, placing blocks in a random pattern, but at the same time have them make sense. I've also discovered that I love quartz blocks a lot. On the flip side, I still need to learn how to build organics. For example, the trees of Valinor. My playstyle has evolved. Everything has started to become a bit easier once I started setting a goal for each episode. But I slowly became more organized in terms of what to do for each episode, and I've tried to keep as much as possible close to that goal, being long-term, stretching over multiple episodes, or tackling multiple goals or subtasks during one episode, because I used to get distracted quite a lot, and I still am. Lesson number 5. Redstone is fun when you understand it. I loved making the sugarcane and the bamboo farms, but basically I still don't know what the comparator does, and I'm proud of the rubbish bin that I built. That was one of those things that I didn't really follow a tutorial or anything. I kind of placed redstone and I saw what it can do. Also, the item sorter is going to be something that I'm going to be starting early on, just so I don't have to frantically check in random chests for something I can find easily. I also make sure to label everything efficiently, again, to save time. One thing that I've learned while playing Minecraft and starting over again is that you have to be quite efficient with your time early on. And finding a village is a wonderful start, and because it provides early shelter and a few resources to keep you going for a while. Villagers have been my best friends for the series, even though at times they got a little bit upset with the political situation in the village. A cobblestone generator early on is another breath of fresh air. I've used mine countless of times and I won't be stopping there for a new series. Maybe I'll work on the design a bit more, but the essence will stay. Lesson number 8, don't be afraid to tackle difficult challenges. By far, this series as a whole has been a challenge to me, but I've embraced it. Without a challenge, we cannot evolve and we cannot learn. And certainly, these 50 episodes have contributed to a lot of learning, both behind the scenes and in-game for me. Lesson number 9, never underestimate mobs and structures. And I'm going to put an emphasis here on the Bastion and Bastion remnants. My dying probability flirts with 100% every time when I find one. But maybe one day I'll be able to comfortably stroll inside a Bastion or a Bastion remnant without a worry in the world, because I'll be OP, I guess. Projecting, I don't know. Some biomes and structures are more useful than others, and sometimes it turns out the opposite. Basically, my favorite biomes are the warm ones, plains and deserts, and the least favorites are cherry blossoms, jungle, and mushroom, and obviously the cold ones. But I also like the one where you can find oak trees, because there's a lot of wood there, and can easily survive for a long time, and you have plenty of building materials. My favorite structures in terms of loot have been the desert pyramids and the end ships and the sunken ships and the treasures as well. Least favorites are jungle pyramids and bastions for obvious reasons. Lesson number 11. I've learned that making a Minecraft episode requires more than just gameplay. It's about storytelling, it's about pacing, it's about learning a lot of technical skills that don't show up in a video. And it's quite difficult to balance storytelling with pacing, and sometimes trying to force a story is going to be taxing on creativity. For that reason, it's better to drop it if it doesn't feel right for you, because at the end of the day, you are the creator, and if you don't like it, then you might as well drop it. Lesson number 12. Stay true to yourself. I've discovered my own style, and I managed to bring this channel to what I've envisioned for it. A chill channel where people come here to relax, and after a long day, come here, they put it on, and they just drift away. And I hope that has helped a lot of people calm down a little and slow down a bit, because we don't want to be stressed out here. We want to relax and we want to enjoy life as much as possible. And I want to bring this kind of vibe. My next goal is to create a wholesome community, which I think we have the solid basis for. Lesson number 13. Storytelling still needs some more work. I have many ideas and sometimes they all clash together. For my future series, I'll try to refine stories and how I convey them to the screen. At the moment, my skills in terms of editing to bring an idea to life on screen needs more practice, but I'm willing to improve, and this is what we're all about here, improving constantly. Some ideas will completely fail, but every failure is a lesson, and every lesson is a gold mine with information that you can learn from. And again, being comfortable within a story or just in a gameplay in general can be reflected in the audience as well. Mostly all my videos seem to be received quite well, but I had a couple of blunders in this series, and that has shown. The audience is not going to forgive you if you hit a blunder. Lesson number 15. Staying creatively motivated isn't always easy, but I found strategies that help me push through creative blocks. For example, I have an efficient system in place that keeps me grounded regardless of how burnt out I am. We'll put it to the test in the new series, definitely. Lesson number 16. Balancing long-term projects with smaller content is a challenge, and you need to learn how to make them both work. Let me give you an example here. While editing this video, I've noticed that I've been planning my home for over 20 episodes. That's a long time, and I've only gotten around it in the last couple of weeks or so, and I was like, okay, let me just push forward and finish it just in time for this final episode. Lesson number 17. Pacing and structuring your Minecraft series is an ongoing learning process, and I've seen this with other creators as well. You always have to improvise, you always have to think on your feet. Even though you've planned an episode, there are things that might go wrong. Here's the cold truth here. In order to gain more clicks, you have to be extra, to give up a little on your goal and to succumb to what the algorithm likes to push. But that ultimately also comes down to the viewers. If the viewers love your content and they are here for what you're offering, then they will stay. And breaking the ice in the Minecraft YouTube scene nowadays is a bit challenging, but not impossible. So if you're thinking about it, go for it. If you make it, congratulations. If you don't, then don't give up. Or if you do give up, at least be proud that you've tried. Maybe try again later. Lesson number 18. Once you create a series, make sure that you stick to it. Because creating and sticking to a series, it is harder than it looks, and now I appreciate everything that goes behind the scenes. I do everything by myself. Some people have friends and a team that helps with ideas, with editing, with thumbnails and so on. But I had to learn everything from scratch. And I had to learn a few softwares in the past 5 months. Been quite a long learning curve, and I'm still learning, and it's a bit taxing sometimes to manage a series and manage a YouTube channel. And I had to tap into my previous work experience to plan properly, and I had to open my business and creativity notebook to see what I can apply from there, and definitely it has helped for now. Always look into retrospective, and here I'm going to focus on editing. My editing style has changed drastically since episode 1, and I've corrected a lot of early mistakes along the way. And I'm trying to push the boundaries of what I'm capable of doing. At the beginning I was using CapCut, and then I moved to DaVinci. Why DaVinci? Well, that's because I'm a big fan of the channel Corridor Digital. I've been watching them since day one, and they were the ones to showcase DaVinci in a lot of their projects. It's free, and if you want to regard your YouTube channel as a business, prioritizing your financial investments means that you need to find the best free alternatives to what the mainstream are using, while also striving for similar results. Also, DaVinci is quite enough for my skill set and for what I need, and I've never had any complaints for it. It's actually quite good and I recommend it. Not sponsored, by the way. I wish. Making thumbnails is a challenge, and I'm going to shout out Let's Play with Pixel here because he told me about the shaders. So I started using shaders as well. And I began learning about thumbnail composition just nowadays because I want to be playing around with different thumbnails in the future. At the moment I'm using a free photo editing software for my thumbnails to toggle brightness, contrast, saturations, etc. And using some simple text as well, because sometimes simple text conveys the idea a bit better. It's easier to see. And I want to be braver here. In my last episode, episode 49, I've used Blender. And I've been working in Blender for a few projects in the past, and I want to implement it in my thumbnail making. And for the new series, that's going to definitely be the case. And I've used Blockbench as well. I've just learned using it this week. Quite fun. And Blender provides me with the option to toggle what happens with the character's emotions, their poses, and generally what happens within that thumbnail. It's quite versatile and I recommend learning it. Learn your shortcuts, lesson number 21. The blade shortcut has become my friend since episode 4, something like that. Obviously, English is not my first language and mistakes can happen, or I might need to cough or and I lose my train of thought. But sometimes using the blade option, I kind of stitch together a couple of sound clips or a few of them just to get an idea to sound a bit seamlessly. When you're paying attention to the video, you see the video cuts, but my voice is actually going uninterrupted, and that's the trick that I'm using. I'm cutting, I zoom in sometimes maximum, and I do very microscopic cuts. I think I'm a bit of a surgeon in terms of DaVinci Resolve sound editing, I suppose. I don't know. Lesson number 22. Always give credit to something that is not yours. And this is music and ideas. Even when you are not required to, it's good practice. And whenever I'm using music for time lapses and whenever I get an idea, I always make sure to credit the creator. Even if I forget to put it in the description, I always mention it in the video. And also, I'm not really a big fan of using sound effects, at least not yet. So if you're here for Vine booms, you might leave disappointed. Lesson number 23. Editing used to take much longer, but it has gotten a bit better now because I've developed a better workflow for it and it's far more efficient. From standardizing my equalizer at the beginning, that's before I got my newest microphone, to switching between different microphones, to adding different filters, playing around with different filters until you find the ones that work for you. Also playing with the sound in OBS. That took me, there were instances where I spent like 2 days trying to figure out the best way to get my voice to sound a bit better, and the volume has been a technical nightmare for me. And now I'm testing audio using 3 different headsets, and there's only one that has a bit more bass to it and it sounds a bit I don't know, it doesn't sound loud enough, but when I turn off the bass, then it sounds better. Lesson number 24. Green screen in Minecraft is fun. Take for example what plays on the screen in front of us. To give you a little bit of behind the scenes, that's lime green concrete as you saw from the beginning. I keyed it out and I applied those videos over it, and I just discovered this a couple of days ago and I really want to use it more in the future. Lesson number 25. Sometimes you might need to re-record segments more than you want to admit, but you always have to look at the bright side. You can re-record something for 100 times until you get the finished product that you like. So as long as you like it, then it's all good. It happened before where I had to re-record the whole episode or to restart the editing process. That's because I've cut 2 separate clips together and the idea didn't really go my way. So the idea in the first clip didn't really continue in the second clip, and the second clip was a completely different idea. And from there I kind of spiraled. I kind of caused the butterfly effect for the whole video, and I was like, okay, this is not in the direction where I want to go. This actually happened during one of the tangents for Wednesday. Lesson number 26. Let's talk about tangents a bit. Whenever I have an old idea that resurfaces from my notes, or when I need to gather resources or build, I like to draft out a tangent episode. And this is where I kind of give my opinions and I offer what little advice I have. This is advice that helped me in the past, basically. Also, please note that these tangents are not professional advice, but these are some things that I found interesting and useful during my life. So if they helped you in any way, shape or form, and if you learned anything from them, I'm happy. Lesson number 27. Manage your time. I usually allocate about 2 hours of recording. It depends. This is for shorter episodes. If I have something that spans across a couple of days or 3 days, then I'll have more hours and I'm going to spread that time over. So what can start from 2 hours of a normal episode can stretch out to about 8 hours of raw footage that I need to sift through. I allocate about 2 to 4 hours of editing, then another hour or 2 hours for the thumbnail, because I like to take my thumbnails inside the game, and that requires a lot of preparation as well. And I do play Minecraft in my spare time, but I prefer to relax playing Medieval Dynasty. It's like Minecraft has become a kind of a job now, although it's not really providing anything financially, but you know, you have to treat it like a job if you kind of envision something greater for the channel. Lesson number 28. Maintain a consistent upload schedule. It seemed quite easy for me at the beginning, uploading 3 times a week and then slowing down to 2 times a week. There was a time when I actually had to change the schedule, or when something unplanned happened and has thrown it off the rails, and the YouTube algorithm doesn't like it when that happens, and I kind of faded back into obscurity from that. Lesson number 29. Sometimes it's essential to record episodes ahead of time if you want to stay on schedule. The episode for Monday, episode 49, I actually had to record it last Wednesday because a lot of things have happened, and I don't like doing it. I think I give myself a couple of days before the upload date, but that is going to change during the new series because I'll be recording daily. We'll see how that's going to push me, how much that's going to push me creatively, physically and mentally. Wish me luck. Lesson number 30. The YouTube algorithm is the boss that we all need to bow down to. And sometimes your idea of a channel is not going to line up with what the boss wants. But stay true to yourself, stay true to your product, and believe in it, believe in yourself, and believe in the process. Lesson number 31. Do not clickbait unless you deliver within the first 2 minutes. Usually maybe faster than that, because attention span across the globe has decreased thanks to various styles of content. But I think I kind of clickbaited a couple of times or a few times, but sometimes you have to do it. And again, when you do it, make sure that you deliver. And why I'm saying this is because whenever I see content that delivers on their clickbait, that makes me watch their content way more. And more often than not, I stick for the rest of the videos because I find it interesting. And I find a lot of ideas more interesting within the video than the clickbait and the subject of the clickbait itself. Lesson number 32. Regardless of how much work you put into your content, it will probably be overlooked. The video that is being posted is just the tip of the iceberg. That's the final scene that requires a lot of steps behind the scenes. And if you can put it onto a step-by-step diagram, there's a lot of things that get into it. I have my own diagram, still needs to be updated a few times, but for the new series, at least I have a solid plan to start. But yeah, there's a lot of effort behind the scenes, and I appreciate every single creator that uploads a video that it's obvious that they worked on. Lesson number 33. I view content differently now. And there's a lot of content creators, both in Minecraft and other games and other styles of content that I'm looking up to. And now I can pick up on different technical details and technical difficulties or things that I wasn't able to see or hear before, be it from sound to transitions to where a cut might be inserted, a sneaky cut that you might not be able to see, transition from practical effects to CGI, for example. These are things that you learn, and without even realizing, you begin paying attention to them. Lesson number 34. Keep a notebook next to your computer or laptop or whatever you are playing on. Why I'm saying this is because if you have an idea, write it down immediately. Also, write everything by hand. It has this weird effect on the mind where you kind of write it down as a plan, and then you kind of have to stick to it. This trick has helped me. I love writing things by hand, and I know this skill is almost being faded out nowadays, because a lot of people argue that is not needed anymore, but I would say that is needed, and it's a crucial skill. So grab an empty notebook, put a pen next to it, and leave it next to your computer. Lesson number 35. Also keep a physical calendar close to you. I have a calendar here as we speak, and I plan my content on it. If you want to be a bit more organized, you can use post-it notes, but I don't really like them personally. Again, writing by hand on the calendar helps. Also keep a backup digital calendar, maybe in your emails, maybe on your computer, on your phone, just to double check with yourself or to set alerts or alarms for when you need to record or when you need to upload a video. Lesson number 36. You cannot learn everything, and don't try to learn everything. For example, I still need to learn how to keep my viewers engaged, because sometimes there are some videos that I really put my heart into it and they are not doing well, and sometimes there are videos that I don't expect to do well, but they are doing better than I expect. And that ties in with lesson number 37. Not every video is going to perform as expected, and you have to kind of detach yourself from it. Basically, I'm a bit confused with this point because again, I put my heart and soul into a project or into a video and it's not doing that well. And some projects where I fail miserably has some really good analytics to it. Lesson number 38. Let your mind wander a bit when you are doing time-consuming tasks. Take that time for you to rest a bit. My favorite activities while mining or building are either listening to music or to an audiobook. Also, I like to structure out ideas in my head about my creative writing projects, so if you have anything that you need to think of, just let your mind wander. You're still going to be doing the build. Enjoy the process, I suppose. Lesson number 39. I think my confidence has grown as a creator. I used to be scared sitting behind the microphone, but now I cannot wait to press record essentially. That if I remember to press record, because sometimes that little green button, I kind of tend to overlook it. I was reluctant at the beginning, but once I learned and applied all the advice I could find in terms of creating a decent system to correct my sound and so on, that has taken away a lot of my worries, and it has created better results. But now I have better equipment and I don't really need to worry about many of those things anymore. Lesson number 40. Sometimes you have to take a leap into it. I have to be honest, this is not my first series. I had 4 or 5 other episodes that I recorded for another series before this one. The software was different, I was using CapCut to edit, and I wasn't happy with it. I didn't know anything about Minecraft. I was dying over and over again, and I was like, if I'm only going to have episodes with me dying, then this is not going to be too good. That was when I was like, okay, what can I do here? So I created the channel because while I was doing that series, I didn't have this channel. That was a pivotal point in my decision to create this channel. My voice was quiet, reserved, anxious when I first started that series, but once I pressed record for this series, everything changed. I don't know, it was a switch within me that was like, it's either we're doing this or we're giving up on this dream forever. And I always remembered this podcast from Imp and Skizz podcast, the channel, which is called What's Stopping You. It's their very first episode, and I definitely recommend you watching it. They also have different episodes with different creators and so on, and with their journey. Definitely give them a try. If you're at the pivotal point, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? Yes, you're going to be at the scrutiny of people, but I cannot believe how positive people are nowadays. So yeah, that's one of those things. Yes, there are going to be mean people, but so far I haven't encountered them yet on this channel. I see them on other platforms, and you know, it's always good to ignore them. Don't feed the trolls, essentially. If you need an encouragement today, go for it. Just press record and do that series. Doesn't matter if the FPS is bad, it doesn't matter if your stuff is a bit, you know, like if your sound is not that good, or if you don't have an idea, just press record and see what happens. Lesson number 39. Burnout. I've experienced burnout before, and I found a few ways to recover from it, you know, like taking breaks and going for walks, touching grass and so on. And what helped me resolve my burnout was finishing an idea. Because sometimes this burnout comes from that anxiety of like, what if it's not going to be good, or struggling to find the perfect technique for it. But I suppose creativity is a bit like a muscle that you train at the gym or whatever physical activities. If you progressively overload and develop your creativity side of the brain, that's going to probably result in less burnout or less frequent burnout. Yes, I'm still struggling, and I probably said it quite a few times that I've been dealing with burnout quite a few times during this series, and the new series is going to test the limits of my burnout, and we'll see about that. Lesson number 42. Even when the episodes don't turn out as expected, focus on what you can improve over time. Even if an episode is doing alright, then you still have a lot to learn. So basically never stop learning, but also make sure not to be too harsh on yourself. You're a human at the end of the day. Lesson number 43. Don't be a perfectionist. At least not yet. You are at the beginning. I am at the beginning. I sometimes have a lot of expectations from myself. And I'm the kind of person who beats themselves down severely when failing. But once an episode is out, then I have to focus on the next one and make the next one better. Yeah, don't be a perfectionist. Be a human. Lesson number 44. Consume some useful content in terms of organizing and managing your time, because they made a lot of difference in terms of my workflow. There's a lot of tips and tricks online, and regardless of age, learning to manage your time is going to make things way easier for you down the line. So don't be shy to learn a bit of a time management. It's quite useful. Lesson number 45. If I could go back to episode 1, I'll probably tell myself to not change the schedule, to have it as I set it, because it was doing quite well until it kind of faded into the obscurity of the YouTube algorithm. But other than that, I wouldn't change anything. Maybe I would work a bit more on my skin, to be fair, because at the moment it's quite flat. Lesson number 46. Look at what others are doing and don't compare yourself with them. Comparison is the killer of joy. But see what you can learn from them. And what I learned is that it's okay to make mistakes. And the greater your audience, the greater the level of scrutiny that you're going to receive. You cannot please everybody, and you shouldn't. Do what makes you happy and stay true to yourself. Lesson number 47. Learn to love your videos and learn to love the process. And I do love most of my videos. I spend a lot of time editing them and I give them a final watch before the upload. It only happened probably once when I gave up on a whole video because I didn't like it. And that was a good call because I had to record it again and it was a bit better. And there were times where I had a lot of technical difficulties with OBS, with sound, with microphone, with equalizer, with DaVinci, and I had to troubleshoot everything on the spot. It took me like 2 or 3 days to solve everything and get the system back on track. But you know what, sometimes even computers and electronics can be temperamental. And here I'm going to look specifically at you, Replay Mod. You have created me a lot of problems. Lesson number 48. Keep a healthy and balanced life. Don't forget to go for a walk, eat healthy, exercise and sleep properly. Manage your time if you have a job or if you go to school, and don't forget to reward yourself sometimes for learning. Just put the work in, even if it's an hour or two. If you dedicate yourself, then you surpassed yourself. Lesson number 49. Trust the process. It's like with writing. It takes a lot of effort before you write down the first word, and from there everything kind of flows together. And the same happens when you press record. I usually go into videos without a script. This is kind of the only video where I have a big script, but for the rest of my videos, even for the tangents, I have some key pointers that I keep next to me in my notebook and I kind of follow. But I usually just go with the flow. And lesson number 50. The biggest one, I suppose. Don't give up. Trust yourself and trust the process. Not everybody is going to understand your dream. Not everybody is going to trust your dream. Not everybody is going to strive for you. Not everybody is going to encourage you to do it. On the contrary, a lot of people are going to be reluctant when you tell them what you're willing to do, and they don't see this as something that you should be doing. For them, it's just like go to work, have a 9 to 5 or whatever. Give up on your dreams. And yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, or I don't want to sound like any guru advice that you receive, but work on your dream and believe in it. And to me, making videos, honestly, because I listened to people to not do it, I am 10 years late. But you know what? I'm not too late. So as a final piece of advice, trust yourself, trust the process, and believe in it, believe in yourself. Okay, as promised, we're going to start off with the world tour. And we're going to begin with the Opera House, with the theater here. I think this was one of my most enjoyable buildings, because I've implemented a lot of different styles and a lot of variety, I suppose. I mean, it still has more to offer, and it's still not 100% done, but I've enjoyed building it, and it has those different sections, behind the scenes and so on, VIP areas. Moving on to the creeper farm. I didn't end up using it that much because our mob farm produces way more gunpowder than this one. And I had another iteration here, and I think my cats are still here as well. Yep, all happy. I think they're still bringing me gifts. No, unless I sleep there. Next up, I have a bit of a path here that I haven't decorated, but makes me think of a real life place that I didn't really have the chance to kind of explore as much as I could. and I was supposed to make some more decorations around here, some buildings inspired from it, but it's all good. We have this ruined tower, and I think we can still access it unless we need to go from above. Yep, we got the entrance and we got the scaffolding here, and it's a good vantage point to overlook our trees. I love this I love this build. Kinda pushed me a bit, but it provides a good vantage point over the trees. Now with those trees, Laurelin and Telperion, I don't think I've done them justice in the way I'm building trees. So there's a thing to learn here, trying to learn organics in the future, but we'll keep a mental note on it, and when we try again, we'll know what mistakes to avoid. I don't know, something about them is probably the lack of materials and time. I'm glad that they're here, and they're part of the environment. Here I have this place where I usually take my thumbnails. I usually come here. In the last episodes at least, I used to come here, have this backdrop of black wool, and then I created this one. Everything that happens in the thumbnails, unless I'm working in Blender, is all fully made in survival. That means any prop that I need to bring it with me. And that takes a bit of effort, because I cannot really... I could just go in F5, take a thumbnail here, and then call it a day, but I'm working my way to, you know, just provide any hints of what's happening. We're going to return back to the mansion, because here there's an area that I haven't really explored, but I had a lot of fun. This is the fishing pond. We had an episode where all we did was fishing and receiving puns from a little robot from there. I think I still have them. I think I burnt them. Yeah, that was a fun episode. I really had a blast, and it did quite well as well. Next up, we have the airstrip. That it has those markers here. And my brother, being an aviation enthusiast, actually he's studying to become a pilot. He calculated those numbers based on the coordinates of the world, and he did some complicated calculations, and I placed them in here. I have no idea what these numbers mean, but kind of wanted it to be as realistic as possible. Next up, we have the hospital. Well, it was a hospital initially, but I think the name stuck with it. But we have our workers here, our villagers. Hello, guys. Very good to see you for the last time in this series. You've done a great job, and I'm grateful for you all. Thank you very much for everything. So this hospital is not really completed yet, and that security guy has fallen down, but I had a blast. This is how I discovered that I love, with a passion, I love quartz. Next up is our bamboo farm. Got an array of observers, pistons on 4 sides here, and all the bamboo is being collected down here. Here we have a cobblestone generator that turns cobblestone into stone with those furnaces. We have the bamboo falling down here, and those hoppers are feeding the furnaces. Usually I would leave my character to AFK here for about half an hour or so, gather some cobblestone, and the system is working to cook it up. The roads are not done yet, but it's all good. We have our enchantment room here. It was one of those projects that when I first worked on it, I was like, oh, this is massive. Until I stepped down from it and I saw how small it is. Or until I built those. And you can see the difference in height is quite obvious. But here we have our enchanter. I think it provides a separate kind of vibe, and I don't know, it keeps that sacred vibe of the enchanting table separate from everything that is happening in the world. Next up, we have a building that kind of was supposed to be a big project, but then I realized that I bit way more than I could chew. So here I was supposed to have a chicken farm somewhere over there where the library is that would feed this and give us cooked chicken. But obviously this has been abandoned, grateful fried chicken. And I chipped away at materials from here. Next up we have the library. Kind of gave this bit of a train station kind of vibe. Also this kind of old libraries feeling. It was a lot of fun building this as well. We have different sections here. Yeah, I had a bit of a blast. And the creepers that used to spawn on the roof here, they had quite a few blasts as well, because I got nicked by a few of them. Now we have this abandoned keep, those towers. I wanted to make a trading area down there, but I ended up putting the hay. And again, this is one of those builds that I didn't really get to finish. Then we have more doors incorporated. Well, this building, I love it because look at how tall it is, how imposing it is. But the story in itself, it didn't really fly, and I had to abandon it. And as I said before, sometimes if you're not comfortable with the story, better abandon it, don't force yourself. Then we have our sugarcane farm. 3 layers, I think, quite a few hoppers and observers that are collecting this automatically, and we have paper on demand. And sometimes, yeah, I can see some of those not falling down quite well, but it's all good. We never run out of paper. It was actually doing quite well, this farm. I think it was one of the most efficient ones. Here, I don't know what I have here though. Sticks on demand, and I think I gave up on it after a creeper blew it up. Light system, all inspired by Capuchin Bird. I really appreciated that tutorial. And let's get up here now. Here we have a corporate Sauron, the eye that is overwatching all the capitalist demands from our society. And underneath it, we have our mob farm. I think it kind of blends in quite well, to be honest. And this was my end goal, to have this mob farm blend in with this tower. Kind of wanted to have something like what I did with the floors here, to go all the way up. But then I was like, okay, I want to leave this area open because it has a bit of a better vibe to it. Kind of flows better. Here we have a storage system and a storage organizer designed by Impulse SV with a tutorial from Voltrox. And here we have the rubbish. I burnt a few of those, and this is why it's like halfway full. I'm pretty sure this is kind of very much it. And finally, our brand new home. It took me 49 episodes to complete my own home. Well, it's not really completed because here we haven't planted anything in the garden yet. And down here, the library is not done, but at least we have a home. Don't know what happened there. Did I leave this like this? I don't know. I'm quite proud of what I've done here. And the process of it as well. It was quite quite intense, I would say. I had to scale down a lot, as this was supposed to be maybe 4 or 5 times bigger than what it is now. And I didn't really have much space, but I don't know, this is kind of my vibe, to be honest. I have 2 meditation areas here if you want to come here and stay quiet. Down here we have the bedrooms, we have some office areas, meeting areas as well. If I had more time in the series, I would have probably taken full advantage of this place. But again, worst thing that happened was collecting terracotta and calcite. But once we found a lot of calcite, it was all good. And quartz as well, of course. Quartz stairs, white concrete walls, bone blocks around the entrance. And because all good things have to come to an end, this series will end here. I appreciate everybody who has supported this. Thank you very much for sticking around. Thank you very much for being here for 50 episodes. And if there's anything that you have learned from me, or if there's anything that you think that I might need to improve on, please let me know down in the comment section. I appreciate every subscriber, and if you want to be a part of our community, please subscribe. I would appreciate it a lot. And I have to be honest, I'm a bit sad leaving this world behind, but you know what? I am grateful that it has happened. Here's to a new series, here's to new beginnings, and here's to a wonderful ending. Thank you very much for sticking around. Take care and goodbye.